You have a quiet pain, a deep down feeling that you are a problem that needs to be solved, a puzzle that is missing a piece. They've told you this through their confused looks, unsolicited advice, and reactions, and now you believe it. You have accepted the diagnosis that you are, in some fundamental way, broken, not finished. You think you are always about to become whole if you could just find that last piece, say that last word, or get that one hard to find recognition. You feel like you don't measure up, so you look for something they call closure. It's a word that people say with a kind of sacred reverence, as if it were the last chapter that would make the whole messy story of a relationship make sense. You chase after it because you think that not having a clear ending means you failed. An open loop shows that you are broken. You believe that one more talk, one more explanation, and one more tearful confession will make you feel better. You are told that this is how you get better, that this is what a whole, healthy person does. And so you wait. You wait for the person who hurt you to come back with the medicine. You practice the words. You picture the scene in your mind. You long for the moment of resolution that will finally let you feel whole again. You think that your piece is a key that someone else has in their pocket because the world has told you so. But the world that taught you this is a world of spirits. There are sleepwalkers in this world who are stuck in a theater they made. Take a look around. Look at them. They can't get enough of drama. They think that noise means something, and that intensity means closeness. Their lives are like badly written plays, and each one needs a big ending. They chase endings not because they want peace, but because they want to see a show. They need people to watch. They need the catharsis of a last word shouted, a door slammed, and a confession with tears. They don't want to know the truth. They want to tell themselves and others a good story. Hear the sounds of their world. There is a lot of complaining, gossiping, and people trying to get validation in it. They talk all the time about who did what to whom, who should say sorry, and how unfair it is that their problems aren't getting solved. They are people who keep track of complaints and slights. They think that by constantly analyzing the past, they can somehow change it. They act out their pain, hoping that a strong enough performance will get them the pity or validation they want. They are stuck in a revolving door of their own making, going from a fake crisis to a dramatic fight to a short-lived weak peace. This is their game, the game of looking for closure. The rules of the game make sure that no one ever really wins, because the point is not to end the game, but to keep playing, to keep the drama going. It takes their minds off the deep emptiness that haunts them when they're alone. They can't stand the silence because it might force them to face themselves. And this is where you have started to go your separate ways. You are now leaving the theater. You didn't know why at first. It felt like giving up and going back. You could see them all still on stage, shouting their lines, and you felt bad for not saying anything and just wanting to leave the auditorium. You thought you were weak because you were tired. You thought you couldn't fight for the relationship because you needed peace. For a while, you thought that leaving the drama was just another sign of how broken you were. But there is a deeper truth that has been growing inside you. You are starting to understand that you are not backing down from a fight. You are just not going to a show that no longer interests you. You are not quitting. You are finishing. You have learned how powerful it is to end something, not with a show, but with a quiet internal turning away. You now know that some doors should be closed softly, not with a loud bang. You don't need to have the last word anymore because you know that the last word is just another line in their script, another chance to stay on stage. The person who is really waking up doesn't need their name to be cleared anymore. They don't need an apology to move on anymore. They don't need the other person to understand, agree, or feel bad about what they did. The world that is asleep can't understand this level of freedom. They think it looks cold. It looks like you're trying to avoid something. You seem unresolved. They will say you are running away, but you are not going away. You are walking toward a silence that will heal you more than any words they could say. You are starting to realize that peace isn't something you can bargain for. It is an independent country. You own this land, and you don't need anyone else's signature on the treaty. You are learning how to be the quiet guardian of your own inner world. You are also realizing that the strongest boundary is the one you draw with your silent, steady presence somewhere else, not with words. And since you have chosen to be a quiet guardian, they need to give you a name. They have to make a diagnosis of what they don't understand. This is where the label comes from, the label of broken, too sensitive, unresolved, or avoidant. You need to know what this label really means. This is not a diagnosis of your condition, it's a way of admitting their flaws. A mind that thrives on drama's noise can only see the love of silence as a disease. A person who needs outside approval to feel real can only see self-containment as a flaw. They say you're broken because your calm, whole self is a scary mirror. It shows them how fake their own lives are and how empty the games they are so eager to keep playing are. They don't see your refusal to get involved in the drama as a sign of strength or wisdom. It is a danger. It is a quiet judgment on the very basis of their reality. So, to keep their world safe, they have to make you the problem. They have to see your depth as a wound. They have to say that your sensitivity is a problem. Consider it this way. Someone who has only ever lived in a room full of flickering shadows can't understand someone who talks about the sun. People will say that the sun speaker is crazy. They will say he is hurt and seeing things that aren't there. They will try to convince him that the shadows are the only real thing and that his desire for the light is a sign that he is broken. They don't mean to be mean. They are just talking about the limits of what they can see. This is what is going on with you. When they say you're too sensitive, they mean your ability to perceive is too much for my inability to feel. When they say you're broken for not needing their form of closure, they mean your ability to find peace within yourself shows how much I need conflict with others. Their label doesn't reflect who you are. It is the sound of their own inner poverty. You are not sick. You are the one who is starting to notice that their world is sick. So, let's throw away their shallow, wrong diagnoses. Let's stop listening to what the sleepwalkers say and look at what's really going on inside you. This isn't a fall into brokenness. It is the rise to a new level of sanity. And this sanity is based on 3 deep and unbreakable truths. We will refer to them as the 3 pillars of the untangled soul. First, they call your brokenness your resonance. You are not broken. You are just tuned to a higher frequency. You feel things deeply because you are more in touch with the truth of the moment, not less. In the world of drama, people are numb and desperate to feel something. To feel alive, they have to make a mess. You, on the other hand, are still alive. You are so alive that the rough, grating energy of their fights hurts you both physically and spiritually. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a very precise way to see things. It's not avoidance to need boundaries and to be able to walk away from their made-up storms. It is smart for a musician to protect a priceless instrument from a hailstorm. You are not broken. You are resonant. Second, what you think of as your inadequacy is actually your integrity. Not being able to play the game is not a social failure. It is a victory for the spirit. Being whole and undivided is what integrity means. The world that is asleep wants you to split yourself up. It wants you to say things you don't mean, smile when you're not happy, and take part in rituals that don't make sense to you. It wants you to do something. Your soul, in its deep and simple honesty, says no. That feeling of not fitting in, of being an outsider, is your whole self fighting to stay whole. It is your spirit's compass pointing true north, and it won't let their magnetic storms of social pressure change it. Your quiet retreat doesn't mean you're not good enough for their world. It means that you are finally becoming too whole for it. Third, you are good at presence, which is why you don't care about their closure. They are obsessed with endings because they don't live in the present. They live in a haunted museum of their pasts, where they move the exhibits around, read the signs again, and argue with the ghosts. They need a last chapter, a signed confession, and a big ending because their whole life is a story. But you are discovering a deeper truth. You are learning that life is not a story that ends, but something that you are living right now. A boundary is not a sentence that isn't finished. It is a full statement of being there. It is the statement that your peace right now is more important than their need to keep reliving the past. You don't need their apology. You don't need them to understand, because you are finding everything you need in the peace and quiet of your own space. You are not leaving a story open-ended. You're just putting the book down. This is the way for the soul to get free. But you need to know that this path has a price. To live by these truths means being okay with being alone. The world of drama is a busy place, even though it's full of poison. There is a strange, frayed comfort in its shared fears and a sense of belonging in its shared complaints. To leave it means leaving a group of people, and the tribe won't get why you left. They will see your peace and call it being cold. They will see your limits and call them walls. They will see that you are self-contained and think you are distant, aloof, or snobby. They won't be able to understand someone who doesn't need their chaos to feel alive. And that's why people won't understand you. There will be times when you are alone in your own quiet space and hear the distant sounds of their theater, the arguments, the reconciliations, the never-ending cycle of performance, and you will feel lonely. Not because you want to be there, but because you are speaking a language that not many people around you have learned to understand yet. This is what it costs to have resonance in a noisy world. In a world where performance is everything, this is the cost of honesty. It's the loneliness of being present in a world that is obsessed with the past. Don't think that being alone means you made a mistake. This is the best sign that you are finally on the right path. There is something in the space around you. It is clear. You have claimed this holy ground for your own good. It is the quiet space where your own soul can finally be heard. To endure this misconception with poise and to dwell in this solitude with tranquility, this constitutes the ultimate, serene manifestation of the awakened intellect. You don't want them to understand you anymore. You are finally happy to know yourself. So, in this quiet place of self-discovery, it's time to give yourself the one thing you always wanted from them: permission. You can let them down if you want to. You can be the bad guy in a story you don't want to be a part of anymore. You can leave a conversation that is going in circles without saying anything. You can heal in a calm, private, and unremarkable way. There is no need for a witness. It doesn't need their permission. Make sure everyone understands this clearly. Setting a boundary is not an act of aggression. It's not a punishment. A boundary is a calm, steady way of saying that you are in charge of your own inner world. It is the soft but firm closing of a door to keep the inside space safe. They will shake the handle. They will want to know why. They will say that a door that is closed is mean. But you are learning that the worst thing you can do is leave your own soul unprotected and let their drama storms ruin your peace over and over again. So, you can hang up the phone now. You can leave the text message unanswered if you want. You have the right to let them deal with their problems on their own. You can choose your own peace over their need for a dramatic ending. You don't have to give them a final scene. You don't have to give them an explanation that fits their story. The only thing you have to do is be honest with yourself about your energy. If that energy is asking for peace, then you have to give it peace. This isn't being selfish. It is the most responsible thing to do. You can't give the world a clear mind if you keep drinking from a poisoned well. Leaving, setting boundaries, and being quiet are the best ways to show yourself love. And that's your path. If this path of returning to authenticity speaks to you, please subscribe and turn on notifications so we can keep going on this journey of deeper understanding together. Now let the noise of the world go away. Let the noise of their demands and expectations fade away. Like the sound of cars passing by from a high-up window, it's a meaningless hum that doesn't affect the quiet in your room. You are no longer standing on the corner of the street, getting pushed around by the crowd and breathing in the fumes. You've gone back to higher ground. Their search for closure is a never-ending need. Finding your limits is like a quiet feast. Let them run after their ghosts in the empty halls of the past. You are here. Now. Your breath is what keeps you steady. Your friend is the silence. There is nothing to resolve. There is nothing that needs to be fixed. There doesn't need to be a final word. They never had control over your peace. It was always here, waiting under the noise. Your silence isn't empty. It is your safe place.